this one underway.
Hello folks, Ncaa 31 here, bringing you Ncaa 14 online, playing a ranked game, taking Georgia Tech up against Alabama. So, if this dude has any brain at all, half a mind, half a clue, this should be a somewhat tough chore to deal with. I'm on defense first, but I'll be talking about offense primarily, and talking about the Flexbone spread option, and one of my favorite coaches, Paul Johnson. Good old PJ and the Flexbone spread option. In football, there's very little that's new, that hasn't been old before. There's very little reinventing of the wheel in football. When you look at, guys who are the modern spread option gurus, guys like Rich Rodriguez, Urban Meyer, what Chip Kelly did at Oregon, even Gus Malzahn, what those guys do, in some way, shape, or form, there's little intricacies that are different between styles and schemes, but at their core, at their base, what they do is based off of Paul Johnson's Flexbone spread option. And I don't believe that poor PJ gets nearly the credit that he deserves as being a coaching genius and innovative offensive mind, a brilliant offensive mind. And part of the reason why that occurs is because he spent his entire life coaching at places like Georgia Southern, Navy, and Georgia Tech. But one of my football dreams in life is to see Paul Johnson have a chance to run this offense with stud caliber blue chip athletes, but that's probably never going to happen. I mean, occasionally at Georgia Tech, when Georgia Tech has really good seasons, they have the pieces that you need to have to really make this offense churn and hum. You need to have the dual threat quarterback, obviously. You got to have the fullback. You got to have those two pieces at a bare minimum. But you also need speed to threaten the perimeter. When Georgia Tech has had guys like Calvin Johnson and Roddy White on the outside, their offense has been very, very hard to deal with, because you also had guys like Josh Nesbitt and Jonathan Dwyer. So what are you going to do? If you stack the box and gang up on the quarterback and fullback, you're leaving a guy like Calvin Johnson one-on-one. Have fun with that. You dedicate resources to rolling coverage toward him, there's more lanes to run. So the quarterback and the fullback and the slot backs can have much more space to do their thing. It's no different than whether you're running a pro-style offense or running a shotgun spread option or a shotgun passing spread like the air raid or run and shoot, or a more of a potent pass balance spread attack like, say, Clemson would do. Whatever. It comes down to your players and their ability to execute, assuming that your scheme makes, sense and is fundamentally sound, which the Flexbone is. It's assignment football. You're forcing a defense to play disciplined. You can greatly punish people who freelance. You can sprinkle in as much passing as you want or need to. There's really nothing that you can't do with the offense that you couldn't do with any other type of scheme. It's just a matter of what you want to do and what you have to work with. You will at times hear people say that you can't play this style of offense anymore due to the bigger, faster, stronger athletes on defense. Defenses are now too sophisticated and athletic to line up and play this way. And there is some merit to that. There's a reason why no one plays, single wing or wishbone anymore. For years and years and years, the wishbone gashed people, rolled up, 500-600 yards a game, and then all of a sudden couldn't do anything. Things get phased out. Things become obsolete. as far as full-time schemes go.
They'll bring him down.
I get that. You also hear that you can't recruit the real blue-chip stud athlete to play in this type of system anymore. I actually believe that argument has more merit. If you look at when Nebraska started to decline under Tom Osborne and Frank Solich, what really started happening is that those guys didn't lose the ability to coach, they stopped getting the players. College football, for most of its history really, has been a power run, power option game. 3 yards in a cloud of dust. For decades, really for a century really, if you think about it. The stars of college football were the running backs. The running backs, and in the 80s and 90s especially, the option quarterback. There were so many great option quarterbacks in the 80s and 90s. But eventually that started to change, and I think, in my opinion, it began to change with the rise of the Miami Hurricanes in the late 80s. College football began to go more toward a pro-style game, and that gradually snowballed and became the game that we see now, where it's all about tempo, spreading the field, and getting as much speed and space as humanly possible. You know, Spurrier started that trend in his heyday. Rick Neuheisel, even when he was at Colorado, they had great offensive teams, real explosive passing attacks, and it's just gone from there. But there is a place, I feel, still for the old-fashioned spread option.
At about the 47-yard line.
Because it forces people into doing things offensively that are timeless, and makes them pay the price when they refuse to do them, or when the offense wears them down. Guys get lazy, they start to cheat and overcommit, and then you gash them for a big play. So, back in the day, I really wanted Paul Johnson to get the Notre Dame job back before they settled on Tyrone Willingham. That didn't happen. And, you know, hopefully G-Tech will have a big-time season this year, contend in the ACC, and PGA can get more attention. And here you see I pulled this sucker out. Bad Vad doing his thing. So, talk to you all later. Peace.